Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Scott with Kiss Wilderness, Florida, and today I'm going to go over different camp slash bushcraft knives that I've bought and explain the process of why I started at one and I ended at a different one, and that's the one I mainly use. So the first one I got was, and this is obviously not the sheath that it came with, this is a BK7 K-bar, yeah, BK7, and I had gotten this one because I was like, you know what, I'm gonna be chopping, I'm gonna be doing all this, I'm gonna be doing all the cool things, and then I started carrying it, and this thing's heavy. Like, it's a big, heavy knife. You know, I went through the process of stripping all the powder coat off of it, changed the handles out, the scales, and then I got a special knife or a sheath for it that I could carry a ferro rod and some tinder. And this thing is just heavy, and I was like, man, I need something a little bit lighter. You know, this is just too much knife. There's no point in having this much knife to use for anything. So I got the smaller BK2, very well reviewed in the camping and bushcraft world. A lot of people recommend this one because it is a big chopping behemoth, really thick blade, 90-degree spine, just like the BK7, which is great for scraping down tinder. It's great for striking a ferro rod and everything like that. But again, heavy. It's very heavy. It's almost uncomfortable to use when you're processing wood, making feather sticks, even cutting cordage. It's very heavy, and there's not a lot of control to it. So I did some more research, and I found a company called BPS Knives. They're out of the Ukraine, and they make camping knives, and this is more of a traditional bushcraft style knife with a Scandi grind. It's about a 5-inch blade, 90-degree spine for processing that the tinder and for scraping ferro rods. Nice comfortable wood handle, but you can choke up on it to do fine carving work. It's very easy. It'll still baton wood. That's a very strong blade. And then the sheath that it comes with is a nice, easy to carry leather sheath that does come with a ferro rod, its own ferro rod. So you always have that on hand. And I discovered that these types of knives, there's a reason that, Dave Canterbury and Sean Kelly from Corporal's Corner, Average Woodsman, they carry knives styled like this. It's because they work, and they work well in the outdoors. If you want something bigger to chop, then you bring a machete or you bring an axe. This is actually everything you need for doing any kind of camp tasks. It's gonna process game if you do some hunting or fishing. It's going to work through, like I said, make big logs. You baton them down through to make smaller logs for your fire. It's great for cutting cordage. It's great for trimming back vines, things like that. And it does, like I said, strike a ferro rod really well. Now with that, you can go even smaller, and this is another BPS. This is the Aurora. It's a Puko style knife, and this is actually more than enough to get any kind of work done. The size of wood that you can baton is obviously going to be a smaller diameter with this, but with that being said, you can use the trick that you use with a folding knife, which is you can baton through, like you cut a wedge. All right, you get a decent sized piece of wood, and you trim the edges or the one end of it into a wedge, and then you can take this and you can baton it in, take it 180 degrees from the other side, baton that in to make a crack, and then that wedge sticks into that cut that you just made, and then you can just baton that wedge down in, and that will split the wood, making it smaller to where you can now baton through with this. So bigger is not always better. It is cumbersome, it's weighty, it's very heavy. So sometimes, you know, bring the amount of knife that you need. This Puko is more than enough to get any job done, especially on camping trips, hiking trips, backpacking trips. You're not out there trying to build a debris shelter. Although with this, I mean, debris shelters take an incredibly long time to begin with, and they burn a lot of calories. But I'm confident enough that this and my folding saw, I would be able to make some type of debris shelter if I needed to. The weight is minimal. You don't even notice it. Same with the other BPS with the Adventure. I don't even notice this when I'm carrying it on my belt. The other two I do, because they are big, chunky knives. They're chunky boys, and they're just more than you actually need. So like I've stated before in my previous video, you know, I'm getting old, man. I got bad knees. You know, weight matters when I am out hiking and backpacking. So with that being said, let me know what kind of knives you guys use. I mean, there might be a knife out there that I haven't discovered yet, and I'd love to look it up and learn about it. Don't sleep on BPS knives. They're great quality, very high quality. I have 4 of them. I have this one, the Aurora, I have the Fin Light, I have the Adventure, and then I have their camp knife. And they're all built like tanks, and I don't think I paid more than 40 bucks for one of them. This one was the most expensive. I think I paid over 50, between 50 and 60. But it's worth it. Like, this could even work as a neck knife if you wanted it to, hanging from your neck for simple cutting tasks around the camp. And yeah, bigger isn't always better. So this is one of those gear review videos that I'm talking about where hopefully I help somebody from my experience to make a solid choice and not waste any money. Times are tough these days. Everybody needs, you know, their cash to stay where it's at, you know, and we need to spend wisely. And like I said, these two, I spent maybe about 40 bucks on this one, between 50 and 60 on this one. But each of these K-bars were well over 100 bucks, and now they just sit in a drawer, and I don't use them at all. They just sit there, and you know, I'll probably throw this one in like a go bag or something like that. This one, for everything that I did, stripping it, spending the extra, and then that's another thing, I spent probably an extra $30 to $40 for the scales to replace those. This sheath, this fancy Scout sheath, I had to find a left-hand one because Scout styles usually wore at the base of the back, but I wanted this one cross draw on my waist. So finding a left-handed one and good leather with the pocket and the ferro rod holder, this was another 50-60 bucks. So this knife alone, I have well over 200 bucks in it, and they're worth the money. Without a doubt, they're worth the money. But there's really great options out there. Don't take my word for it. Gideon's Tactical has gotten reviews on all of these knives, and he speaks highly of the BPS, and that's probably the one guy that I know of, that I watch, who does go through a lot of testing on knives before he puts a video out. He'll test them for 1, 2, 3, 6 months until he's comfortable enough to, you know, let you know if it's a lemon or if it's worth being in your pack. All right, so with that being said, I'm going to sign off, and as always, Christ is King above all else. Get out there, hike, camp, and explore. This is Kiss Wilderness, Florida, and I'll see you in the next video.